Welcome everyone to the Circuit of Americas and our sort of American-themed press conference here on Friday. We've got an array of American drivers, not United States drivers, but drivers from across the Americas. So we've got Canadians and Mexicans, as well as what over in Europe we call Americans, but I don't know what. So I'm just going to introduce them from our right. So Chris Dyson, who's racing with Reeves Motorsport, Rudy Junco, who's driving with G-Drive ADR Delta, Ricardo Gonzalez with Oak Racing, Tracy Crone with Crone Racing, Kevin Wheeler with Lotus LMP2, and Paul Dell'Alana with Aston Martin Racing. I think it's only right that I start with Tracy, as you really are a local driver. Houston is your hometown, which is quite close to here, not quite as close as I thought it was going to be when I got off the plane last night.
Looks close on the map, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does, yeah. I mean, as a guy who was born and bred in Houston, what does it mean to have a track almost on your doorstep, and such a great track as well?
Well, this is a spectacular facility, and they spent a great deal of time and effort and money to make this work, make it work right. I think all of us will testify that it's a very technical track, and it's a very smooth track. But by the way, there's different lines here that you want to try, and set up the different cars. So I think it's a spectacular facility. The grounds are beautiful. Really like the tower.
Yes. Could you have dreamt when you were starting your career a few years ago that you have this amazing track with a Formula One Grand Prix on its schedule, sort of right on the doorstep?
I didn't plan to be in racing when I was 48 years old, starting. So no, the short answer is no, but the best answer is that when you think about world-class racing, world-class driving, I mean, this is the newest of the new, the best of the best, right here in Austin, and they've done a spectacular job, and I commend them for it. I really just didn't think they were going to get it done. They got it done.
Just on your own chances over this weekend, you've had quite a tough season so far. There's been a few changes within the management and the structure of the team since Brazil. Can you A, tell us what's happened, and B, sort of tell us if this is going to transform your season?
Well, transformation is a difficult process. It doesn't happen overnight, particularly not in this sport. The car was not getting better. We tried a bunch of different things, and sometimes it just helps to bring in a different set of eyes. I do this with the oil and gas business. We hire new personnel, new executives, and they have a different viewpoint on how things work. And it often leads to improvement. So that's the hope here. We're not looking for magic. This is a very competitive field, great drivers, great teams, great cars. So the bar is always set higher. In order to improve, you have to make changes. So that's what we're doing. We're making some changes.
Okay. I'll just go down that way first. No offence over on the left. Ricardo, I guess it would be wrong to talk about anything first, but obviously the Le Mans Triumph, which I guess means a hell of a lot for you. It was a fantastic race with your teammates. Can you just say what it means for a driver from Mexico? I guess we all think back to Pedro Rodriguez winning outright at the end of the 60s. What did it mean for you to stand up there on that podium?
I would have to say that, first of all, it's a dream come true to be able to participate in 24 hours of Le Mans. Last year, that was my focus, just enjoy the event. I didn't know if I was going to get the chance of being there again, and make the best of it, and having a second chance at it, another dream come true, and obviously making the first place in the podium, and being able to see what that means, be part of it. And then when I got back to Mexico, big news, as you said, second Mexican after Pedro Rodriguez 45 years ago, 9 years of Le Mans being raced, so only 2 Mexicans. That was big news in Mexico. How media received me when I landed in Mexico was something I was not expected, and for a month, big news in Mexico, so very, very happy.
obviously that put you to the top of the points in LMP2, but you maintained that with second place in Brazil, which perhaps was the kind of result that you need if you're going to go for the championship, because you perhaps didn't have the most competitive car, but some clever strategy by the team and some great driving. I know you were all saving fuel, actually got you on the podium, and that could be quite crucial.
Yeah, our first objective was Le Mans. Now that that's in the past, definitely our objective right now is the championship. I know that Oak has been working really hard on this for many years, building the puzzle, putting everything together, and I'm just one piece that came at the end and helped be where we are. But it's a lot of work in the past. So definitely our objective right now is 100% championship, not being the fastest, not necessarily winning, but trying to make that gap here in the first place.
Okay, I'm going to stay in Mexico now with Rudy Junco. Should we call you Rudy Junco Jr. or just Rudy Junco? You're happy either way?
Yeah, I think I'm happy either way.
I mean, we've seen you racing, particularly in LMPC cars, in the LMS with Core and PR1. What brings you to the WEC and the chance to drive with G-Drive ADR Delta?
Well, this was an interesting opportunity that came up rather suddenly, and it was something that once I knew it was available, I really jumped on it. You know, obviously the track would be very interesting to race here, and especially getting into a P2 car, which everybody was saying, kept saying they were very fun to drive. So I was just wanting to get into it and see what we could do.
I mean, could this be part of a plan to follow Ricardo to Le Mans in the future, maybe next year?
Well, obviously those are very big shoes to fill. Right now it's a one-off thing. Obviously I have to balance my work and family at home, so that's an issue for me, which limits my traveling and my schedule. But right now I'm focusing on this weekend, getting things right, getting some time in the actual car, and we'll take it from there.
You've had quite an intriguing career. You sort of raced as a teenager. You followed the single-seater, open wheeler route, I should call it over here. You did Indy Lights, then you stopped, then you came back. I'm told in between you became a successful businessman. What motivated you to come back? Was it just still that passion for motorsport?
Yeah, it's still the passion, and just the possibility of, with this class of racing, it's actually very possible for somebody with my profile could actually come in and be a part of this, which is amazing. So that's obviously very helpful.
Okay, moving on to Chris Dyson. Of course, I keep seeing you around the paddock and keep thinking you're driving an NMS car, but of course you're back in the WEC for outing number 3. What brings you back to Greece?
Originally my friend and business partner, Mike Marcel, was supposed to drive with the team, and Michael had some business commitments that he had to bow out of, and I was quite happy to fill in for him this weekend. But obviously thrilled to be back driving with the team. I feel like we had some unfinished business. We had a great run at Silverstone, standing on the podium. I took the car out of qualifying at the weekend at Spa, so I felt like I left something on the table. So it's great to get back and redress that with the team. We're having a good weekend so far. Tom Kimmersmith, has become a great friend in the last few months. He spent the summer living in New York, actually. And, we spent a lot of time together, so we're thrilled to be here working together. And Christian Zubels has been a friend for a long time, and was good enough to bring this all together for us. And I'm excited about our chances on Sunday. It's going to be a long day, but I think we had a pretty good car, certainly on old tires, and looking forward to the weekend.
We have a lot of great circuits in the United States, Atlanta, Road America, wherever. They're all sort of older, traditional circuits. This is a more or less brand new facility. I mean, what are your thoughts on this place, and why is it so good for the drivers?
Well, it's an interesting track. It's actually quite a bit slower than a lot of the tracks that we traditionally race on in the LMS. Very technical. There's some flowing sections, but they're intermittent, and we've got quite a few sections that are very, very low speed. I think in terms of an engineer's challenge, it's probably beyond peer. Yeah, there's no peer for it, and because it's got this rare combination, and it's a smooth track. You know, I mean, it's a little thing about the U.S. is that, you know, we don't have very smooth circuits here, but layout-wise, it's unique. The facility is unbelievable, absolutely world-class, and you know, you can't beat the Texas hospitality.
Okay, down to the other end of the table, on to you, Kevin, the Lotus Praga T128. I always find that a bit of a mouthful, but the car has begun to show a bit of progress. Perhaps we saw its good straight line speed at Le Mans, and then we saw some good pace at a totally different kind of circuit in Brazil. Do you think you're gradually turning the corner after quite a difficult start to the season?
We are, and you know, this is normal for a new car and a development year, and we did see some good progress in Brazil. We've known from the beginning we have a nice aero package, and we want to exploit that, you know, the best we can. So we're feeling pretty good about going forward, but it's still a lot of work.
I mean, have you set any targets in terms of concrete results over the second half of the season?
I mean, we'd like to see some results. Obviously, the first thing is reliability, get to the finish. You know, we're working pretty hard as a team and all the drivers to try and get it to a point where we can see some results. We see the potential. It definitely has a lot of potential. It's just unlocking that potential and getting it to work. It seems like now we're in a very narrow window, so it's getting a little more sensitive and a little bit better to our adjustments. So we're seeing some progress, and we're excited about it.
In the future, do you intend to stay with the team for next year?
I hope so. We'll wait and see. I looked at this team last year. It was my first year in this championship in this team, and you know, I looked at a longer program because I knew about the new car, and you know, I think the work we've done together is good. We're bonding well as a team, so I hope so.
Okay, Paul, it's interesting that Ricardo was talking about the dream of going to Le Mans. That was something that you ticked off this year. I mean, as a guy who's raced sports cars in North America for a long time, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's the ultimate race, I think, for a sports car driver. So, you know, the experience of Le Mans was a very tough year, obviously, for Aston Martin for many reasons. But even through that toughness, it was a great personal experience. And, you know, it's just hard to you know, put in words really what it's like to go and be in a place that you've seen growing up as a little kid, seeing all your idols come through, and to stand in the same place and, you know, savor the moment. So, you know, for me personally, it was a really neat thing. I hope to do it again, and you know, that's I guess next year's plan. Lots of talk, and certainly in America for the moment about next year's plans, I guess. So it's you know, in the moment, but yeah, it was a really neat step, as it's been the other events of the championship.
Did you feel that you just wanted to build a program in the World Championship around Le Mans for this year? So that's why you've done something. Obviously, you didn't do the first race, but you've done You've done every race since Spa.
Yeah, and actually I did manage to get into Silverstone, so Aston has been very accommodating for me. It's been a bit unexpected in terms of the level of involvement. We started out actually planning to start in Brazil and finish the rest of the season, and then Le Mans got tacked on with an extra entry, and then we found some space in Silverstone and Spa. So in the end, I'll do the whole championship this year, and the real plan is obviously to try get the learning done this year and be ready to compete, you know, next year, since other than this circuit, all of the races are new events for me. So the learning curve is steep and continues, and so it's been, that part is very well tipped, I would say, and but the team's been great, and I've got to say they've helped me progress a lot as a driver, and more to come.
What are you aiming to achieve here? Obviously you had the pole position at Brazil, but the race didn't sort of fulfill that promise. I guess it was quite disappointing for you. I mean, do you feel, what is the target here for the rest of the year?
Wow. I mean, of course, I have to echo all the words here. It's tough competitors and really tough teams, so results are hard to come by. But, you know, again, I think we have 3 good cars in the garage that on any given day can compete. But I think for me personally, we raced here in February back with the Rolex Series, so I'm coming back to it. It's the only track this year that I'll have been to. So hopefully that'll allow me to get up to speed a little bit quicker than in some of the other events. and Richie and Pedro have a great partnership going, and so I have a chance that that we should be able to replicate some of those results from Brazil, hopefully without the mechanical issues.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all I want to ask. There is a roving microphone behind me, and we are going to open up the press conference to the floor.
Hi, Mark House and Daily Sports Car. Question for Tracy primarily, as the local. The WEC has a 3-year contract, I understand, with Kota. And Austin is obviously a very cosmopolitan city, but is Texas in general the sort of area that's going to be receptive to this type of sports car racing?
Texas is the best place in the world. Yes. We've had races in Houston, street races, and certainly I've competed in one of those. This is the best facility in the world, period. It's the most recent experience that the world's seen certainly in any FIA track and facility of this. And they spent a massive amount of money here. Spent like $450 million. Texas has a booming economy. Yeah, it's got a great tax base. It's got a great diversity in the geographical presentation of the state. Austin is a beautiful area. I was born and raised in Houston, and I've been here many times and spent a lot of time around this area. And if you get out in the surrounding hill country area, it's just really, really special, really beautiful. The only, probably only negative is that I'm sure that I don't have all the information, but I think my perception is if you're sitting over in Paris and it's September, you're thinking, it's pretty nice here. Why don't we do a race in Austin in September? It can be 105 degrees here in September. This is unusually cool, by the way, so any of you guys that think that this is hot, you haven't gotten there yet. So if it clears up and gets warm on Sunday, it'll be very toasty.
Okay, there don't seem to be any other questions, so a round of applause for our drivers. Thank you.